It brings me great pleasure to introduce our next speaker. He's here all the way from Montreal, a French dude named Fred. Go for it, Fred.
Which mic?
That one.
This one? Oh, there we go.
This is all mine.
So I'm not used to stay right on the stage. I want to move, but now I won't be able to do this. So you probably noticed my beautiful accent. Yes, I speak French. I'm from Montreal. And if you don't understand something, just go take a drink and drink more. So tonight, I joined Microsoft like 1 year ago. That's going to be 1 year near. And I was this kind of guy. This guy that was doing PHP stuff, Java stuff. I was using Ubuntu, Gentoo. I am doing HTML5, JavaScript, CSS3. I use MySQL. I did some iOS application. And a lot of people ask me, why did you join Microsoft?
To hang out with me.
You were not there when I joined Microsoft. Maybe you joined Microsoft to be with me. Awesome. So I wanted to talk to you a little bit about things that happen around perception in the IT industry. And before talking about the perception, I will talk to you a little bit about history. I want to talk about a subject that is there for a long time, a kind of war between Microsoft and open source. And I want to make some things clear, talk about a little bit of the past, and where we are now with everything around this. So if we come back like a couple of years ago in 1998, open source has some interesting character. Do you know Eric? Yes? No? Everybody is drunk? Yeah? So it's good. If you are drunk, it's okay to not answer me. So Eric found the open source initiative like a couple of years ago. And at that time, we had some interesting characters too at Microsoft. Some nice people, good-looking people, and it was a great year for us. So we launched Windows 98. Who used Windows 98? Come on. Maybe not Windows Me. Windows 98. And at that time, and during that time, and a couple of years ago, we did some error. Did you see this phrase, this sentence? Sorry. Did you heard this? Did you already read this sentence? We say this a couple of years ago, and it's a mistake of the past. And it still bites us. It's still after us, and people still using this slide as Microsoft hates Linux. It's things of the past. But we are not the only one who did some interesting sentence. Did you see this one? This picture? Yeah. If you are using Microsoft technology, you work for communists, and you're a friend at Microsoft. Yeah, oh. But it's, yeah, awesome. It's interesting. It's things of the past. And when we talked about perception around Microsoft, around what Microsoft is doing with the open source community, or what Microsoft was doing a couple of years ago, like Nick talked to us a little bit at the beginning, it was always Microsoft versus open source. It's a kind of war. And you see probably this one. Yes, yeah, Microsoft is the evil empire. I work at the evil empire. I work on the dark side of the force. But it's awesome. You probably see this one. Notice the difference? Check the slide. Magica. Who wrote this? Microsoft with the $sign. Who did this? I did it. No, you all lied to me. Joey, I know Joey did this. Who did this? Come on, don't be shy, I did it. Okay. I won't lie to you. The goal of Microsoft, we are a company that is selling software. We are there to make money. And we see a lot of things around this. Open source is the rebel alliance that will solve the IT industry, that will be there to stop the evil Microsoft playing with Darth Vader and things like that. So it's things that we heard a lot. We still heard a lot about this, but I got a crazy idea. What about if Microsoft would be an open source? Because at Microsoft now, we are doing open source. We are working with these community. We are releasing some software with open source. We are helping others to be open source. If we come back today, when we talk about open source has grown. It's a big community. A lot of people in the room are using open source technology. Python, you are doing PHP stuff. You are using Linux. You are using WordPress. It's a lot of projects. If you just go to SourceForge, you have so many open source projects, and it's not the only place where you have this kind of project. So there is a lot of projects. It's a community that grown a lot and that is still growing. But it's not enough. It's not just this. Microsoft has grown too. We did some error in the past, but now we are really there to learn. We are really there to play with you, work with you, help you to do everything you need to do when we talk about IT. And we launched some good product. Who has an Xbox here? It's awesome. And the Kinect? It's a great device. Yeah, so we did some great stuff around Xbox. We did some great stuff around Windows Phone. It's a really great device, a really great phone. And we are doing stuff around open source. We had Complex, who has a thousand of projects. It's not as much as SourceForge, but it's a lot of projects that Microsoft is releasing, that the community is releasing with really the source open. And I really think that it's about choice, about using the technology that you want. And it's not only that Microsoft is not doing open source. So you can choose open source from Microsoft. You can choose open source for other company, from other organizations, from other communities. And we're helping you on 3 ways. By doing some contribution, by doing some collaboration, and by doing stuff in the communities and with the communities. So, if we talk about contribution, I can give you an example. Nick talked about it at the beginning, PHP. Who tried to use PHP on Windows like 3-4 years ago? It's where I lose all my hair. It was really abiding. It was not easy. Now, you wait like, after a release of PHP, you wait a couple of hours, you wait maybe 1 day, and you have a nice version that you can install easily on Windows, and it's working perfectly. We can talk about things we did with PHP, with Apache Software Foundation. We work with the Apache Software Foundation to release a lot of projects that is in use now, or that will be used soon. So it's really things that you didn't see in the past, and for a couple of years, we are working with these community to get some project done. Nick mentioned it at the beginning. WebPI. Who ever think that Microsoft would have a software that help you to install things like WordPress, like TikiWiki, like OrCard on your computer? It's something that we're doing to help communities reach more people, have your project known by a lot more of people. When we talk about collaboration, we did some stuff with Eclipse, for Eclipse. We released some plugins that you can use with your IDE. You don't have to use every IDE of Microsoft. You don't have to use Visual Studio. If you have experience with Eclipse, you can use some plugin that will help you to manage your project. Linux. We give some lines of code to help with the kernel of Linux. Just so you know, we are doing Windows. Windows is our operating system, and we are helping Linux to have a kernel that will support some of the technology that we know, some of the technology that we do. And when we talk about community, I'm from Montreal. I needed to put an example from Montreal. Do you know the conference Kung Fu? Yeah. If you don't know this conference, please go take a look at confu.ca. It's a really nice conference around every web technology. So there is a lot of Python developer, Java developer, PHP developer, .NET developer, HTML5 developer. All of these web developer, and not just web this year, mobile developer too. They're there to learn, they're there to share, and we are there to help them doing this. We're there to sponsor, we are there to talk to the people around technology to help them to make some presentation. And actually, I know that the guys at Kung Fu take the idea from the first Make One Not War, because they found that it was a really great idea to have a lot of people from the community that that use a different programming language and have them at the same place. So it's a really great conference. And I don't have to talk to you about Make One Not War, but Make One Not War, yeah, awesome. More, come on. It's not even 9 o'clock. Or is it because I'm before Mark and you're all waiting about this sexy man with the nice beer? Yeah. Actually, this morning I had this ugly Movember mustache. It was the best thing I did today. Shave this thing. It was so ugly. But you're doing so well, man. So Make One Not War is really a round community. It started like an event that we did on the first time in Toronto, and it's growing, becoming a blog, becoming a Twitter feed, a YouTube channel, a Facebook page, everything around communities, everything around web technologies, like Make One Not War. We are there to talk together, we are there to talk about interoperability, so it's really a great thing that we are doing. And the last thing, one time I will remove this slide, but nice picture. So the last thing I wanted to tell you about this is all these stuff. It's why I'm there. It's why I'm at Microsoft. It's because of these events like Make One Not War that make me think that, yeah, Microsoft has changed. Microsoft is not there for the communities. So at the end, it's Microsoft and open source. I really think so. Think about it. Come ask us some question around what we do with the communities. Go to the website, watch what we are doing, if it's good. If you have any feedback around what we are doing, things we can improve, things we're doing great and we need to keep, just tell us. We're there tonight. Just come to see us, all the people with this special boa. So thanks a lot. You can contact me, Twitter, Facebook, LinkedIn, Google+, name it. Thanks.